We often talk about leadership, and we what comes to our mind is people who occupy government leadership positions in the executive arm of government: president, governor, vice president, deputy governor, ministers, commissioner, or even heads of organizations, whether public and private. But leadership is not restricted or limited to people who occupy offices. There's also personal leadership. There's self-leadership, where you as a person, begins to awaken to the consciousness of the fact that you ought to take responsibility for the outcomes of your life and your destiny and your future. So I want to remind you, it's not really something new because all of us have read about this in books. We've had preachers, preach about it, over the years. And this is the 6 leadership principles to learn from eagles. All right, so let's delve into it. Number 1, eagles fly alone. At high altitudes, they don't fly with sparrows, ravens, and small birds. So, what is the lesson to learn from this attribute or trait or natural uh, lifestyle of the eagle? The lesson to learn is that you must stay away from narrow-minded people, those who bring you down, those who try to, discourage you, talk you out of your desires, your ambitions, your aspirations. That's the first lesson to learn, from the 6 leadership principles that we can learn from an eagle. Number 2, eagles have an accurate vision. An eagle has the ability to focus on things. It is said that an eagle can see, as long as 5 kilometers ahead. And what is the lesson here? That you must have vision. You must remain focused on your goals, on your targets, on your ambitions and desires for the future, no matter what the obstacles are, and that if you keep to your focus, because consistency is the key to breakthrough. If you consistently focus on your goals, your aims, your aspirations, goals that you have set for yourself, you would achieve them despite the hurdles and the limitations. Number 3 lesson to learn is eagles do not eat dead, items or animals. They feed on fresh prey. Now, what is the lesson to learn from here? The lesson is, don't rely on your past successes, which can be referred to as dead meat. It has already happened, it has already happened. Don't bask or, take pride in past glory, what you have achieved before. As long as you are alive, there is room for new success. There is room for new accomplishments. As long as you are alive, no matter how old you are, there is room for you to always begin again, start afresh, aim for higher mountains and try to do new things that will improve your chances in life. The 4th leadership principles to learn from eagles is that eagles love the storm, because the storm provides the wind that will, give it, what is called leverage to glide and at high speeds. And the lesson we can learn from here is that you must face your challenges and head on. You must face your challenges head on, knowing that this will make you to emerge stronger and better than you were. And this is applicable to our current situations in Nigeria and third world nations. We're going through a lot of challenges because of the economic policies by government, because of high cost of fuel, high cost of foodstuff, high cost of everything, electricity, everything, high cost of even renting, a place of abode if you don't have a house of your own. You must put your brain to work to devise strategies that you can leverage on to make the best out of life in the situations that we find ourselves. Number 5, eagles prepare for training. They remove feathers, that makes the nest comfortable for their children, or for their, what, the children is not the word, for their eaglets. And they make, the nest uncomfortable so that their eaglets will learn how to fly by all means. And this is, relevant for parents. You cannot afford to raise, wimpy, weak, fearful children in this generation. You must raise your offspring, your children, your nieces, your cousins, female, young cousins, your nephews. And prepare them to be tough and rugged to face the challenges of life in the, current situations that we find ourselves in this generation. Life is becoming tougher. Competition is becoming stiff. And the world does not have a place for mediocrity. No one pities you. No one pities your child. Therefore, you must raise them with the consciousness of, becoming all that they can be. Harnessing their mental powers, their spiritual powers, their thinking faculty. Let your children be analytical. Don't just oppose them whenever they are talking about new ideas, or whenever they are talking about, skills or interests that they have. They have interest in music, they have interest in ICT, they have interest in. You must encourage them to take advantage, to develop the gifts and talents that they have. And finally, the 6th lesson is when eagles grow old, its feathers become weak and cannot take it as far as it used to be. Therefore, the eagle will retreat to the high mountains and stay there for, is it how many days? Quite a number of days, over a month. And it will begin to knock off its, not fingers, but talons, yeah. And then begin to brush its beak against the rock so that it will break it off for a new beak to sprout. And it will pull out its, old and tired, wings, feathers that outlive their usefulness. What is the lesson to learn from here? Reinvent yourself. Don't be the same old you that is not, in sync with the current realities of life for existence in the 21st century. You must reinvent yourself. You must rebirth yourself. You must learn to regenerate yourself. Shed off old thinking, shed off old strategies, shed off, keep away, throw away old methods of doing things that are not producing results for you in the current situation and realities that we find ourselves, not only in Nigeria and in Africa, but across the third world nations of the world. And these are the lessons that I thought that I should remind you, so that you can make success out of your life in view of the challenges that we're confronted with in the times that we are in. Send me a message on my WhatsApp 0810-994-7997. And if you are outside Nigeria, you must add the country code for Nigeria is +234 for private consultations and mentoring and coaching. Thank you. God bless you.